During the war, when all the anti-Jewish laws were passed, Jews were not allowed to go to the beach. So us Jewish kids hung out near the river.
I want to talk more about your experiences at Auschwitz, at Buchenwald, at the camps. But real quick, Irving, I wanted to ask you, as a survivor of the Holocaust, of Auschwitz, how does it make you feel when you see the world doesn't learn its lessons, obviously, and we see the demonization of the Jewish people again today, and of all places, Europe, we see the rise of anti-Semitism today. This must be particularly infuriating for you.
It's infuriating, and that's what I do. I suspect in the last 10 years since I've been fortunate enough to work with CUFI, I probably spoke to 300,000, 400,000, 500,000 people, which is a privilege, because I need to do that, because I see it. The fact I survived Auschwitz and Buchenwald, to see this happening to the Jewish people again is infuriating. And the fact that if these were people who have never met a Jew, in a way, we have this whole thing, BDS, boycott investment. You want to boycott Israel? Don't use a cell phone. Don't use most of the technology that comes out of there.
Don't send a text. It was all created in Israel.
So don't do it. Don't use it. No, that's not. In fact, they're going to use that to murder the Jews.
BDS is the destruction of Israel by other means, not the traditional guns and bombs of Hamas, Hezbollah.
And people will tell you, the propaganda is that some people who was persecuted, who was humiliated by Israel, that's who invented it. Nonsense. It was invented in February of 2001 in Tehran. There was a pre-conference to the Durban conference in Tehran. Tehran volunteered to host. And what they did is discuss a very interesting topic. How are we going to totally eliminate prejudice and hatred in the world? So they're sitting around. Now, this is an article written by a person who was there at that conference, a member of the UN. And she describes the process. So people begin to talk. And the way it seems to work at conferences for the pre-conference at the UN, that people speak about various things, and then they discuss it, and then they agree on the agenda. Now, there are things people say which are not part of the agenda until they get agreed to. Now, but they're discussed, or not discussed at all. So the person from Tehran, the representative, began to demonize Israel and the Jews. It was not discussed, it was not voted on. Now, the way it works in terms of the record, everything that gets not discussed is in parentheses. So if you look at the record, you have things which are discussed, which is written in the record, and things that are in parentheses are not discussed and they're not agreed upon, and they don't become part of the agenda. But somehow by magic, between Tehran and Durban, the parentheses disappeared. Brilliant. The whole point of education, we always think of education as the solution. My comment is education without a moral compass can become evil. And we know it because it was done in Germany, it was done in the Soviet Union, it was done many other places, and it's being done today.
Coming up, Nazis send him to a concentration camp at age 14. How he witnessed the deaths of countless Jews, friends, and family members, and what he did to survive unimaginable torture. More from Irving Roth, next on The Watchman, only with CUFI and only right here on TBN. Stick around.